but chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Lord. 2 Peter 2:10-11. You who read these words are invited to see that those walking after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness are simply inmates of a self-imposed prison. They are confined by the senses, shackled by fear and craving, and so they rail against every dignity they perceive. Their voices echo from within a narrow cell of doubt and accusation. Unaware of their own freedom, they lash out, for to them the world is but a mirror of their inner tumult. But consider the angel, his very nature is power and might, yet he issues no railing accusation. Why? Because he dwells as an occupant of a higher state, one in which all is seen as the garment of unity. He knows that every being is Christ in a different guise. In that state, to accuse another is to accuse oneself, and the occupant will not turn against his own home. So you are challenged. Will you remain an inmate, pacing the same stale corridors of resentment, or will you, by a simple act of will, move into the angel's domain? You need only fall back into the realization of your true abode. In the dark of your dreaming, imagine yourself loosening the chains of fleshly judgment. Feel yourself descend, or better, rise into a realm where no accusation sounds, for all voices have merged in one chorus of love. There is no external barrier. The prison is merely your belief that you are bound. Release it by dwelling consciously in the state of the occupant, secure, dignified, loving. In that state, even those who once gossiped and plotted against you will find no purchase, for you have changed the atmosphere. The field of your life will yield its golden harvest, and the accuser's voice will fall silent before the power of your imagined peace. In 2 Peter 2:10-11, we meet two opposing states of consciousness. On one side are those walking after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, self-willed, not afraid to speak evil of dignities. This describes the inmate trapped by fear, desire, and a rebellious ego that rejects its own inner guidance, government. Opposed to them stand the angels, greater in power and might, who witness without railing. These are higher states of consciousness that observe without judgment, resting in innocence and creative peace. Every state you inhabit is a realm waiting for occupancy. When you dwell in fear and condemnation, you animate a prison. When you dwell in self-will and carnal lust, you reinforce that bondage. But when you align with your angelic nature, imagination as Christ, you simply assume a new state and creation unfolds. The angels bring not railing accusation, because they know that inner reality must be treated gently. They observe the stage of formation without criticizing its form. In this way, manifestation is not forced or martyrized, but allowed to flower naturally. This passage reveals your divine power of assumption. The same imagination that conjures condemnation can be turned toward blessing. You possess the absolute freedom to occupy any state by feeling it real, and by doing so you enlist the higher angelic faculty to fulfill your inner decree. There is no external tribunal more powerful than your inner government. Begin by gently noticing any moments when fear, lust, or a rebellious urge rises against your own inner guidance. As you become aware of these inmate states, ease off all self-condemnation and simply observe without judgment. Then consciously choose to step into the angelic state of freedom, purity, and self-mastery, vividly imagining yourself already living under a wise, loving inner government. From that place, return again and again to this empowered daydream revising memories, falling asleep within its calm embrace, so that each time you come to see where you truly dwell, you strengthen your claim as the soul's rightful occupant rather than its inmate. By ceasing to rail against your lower states and deliberately occupying the higher, you activate the angels within, and creation responds. Your life's experience reshapes to reflect the power and might of that silent, non-judging witness, your own divine imagination.